What if your body is trying to tell you how long you'll live right now? Not in some vague, mystical way, but through clear, physical signs that doctors and scientists can actually measure. Imagine knowing exactly which signals reveal if you'll live another 5 years, or 25. After you hit 60, each birthday means more than just cake and candles. It's another precious year when the clock is ticking. And the shocking truth? Your body is already sending you powerful messages about how many more birthdays you might get to celebrate. Most people completely miss these signals until it's too late. They assume declining health is just part of getting older, when it's actually a warning they could have acted on years earlier. The average American only lives to 77 and a half years old, meaning if you're 60 right now, statistics say you might only have 17 years left. But that's just an average. Some people in their 60s and 70s stay sharp, strong, and independent well into their 90s, while others rapidly decline before their 80th birthday. The difference isn't just luck or good genes. It comes down to 10 specific indicators hiding in plain sight. In this video, I'll reveal these 10 hidden signals that doctors use to predict how long you'll actually live. I discovered these while researching longevity science for the past 15 years, and I've never seen them all explained in one place before. By the end, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own body and daily habits, and more importantly, the simple changes that could add years or even decades to your life. Before we get into it, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're into deep dives like this. We bring you essential tips and advice for seniors to lead a fulfilling and happy life. Stay with me, because sign number 1 might surprise you. It's something most doctors never check, but research shows it's the strongest predictor of all for how long you'll live after 60. I want to tell you something that might change your life. It's a real story about 2 men, Frank and Harold, who lived on the same street. These guys celebrated their 60th birthdays on the exact same day, had the same cake, and even joked about getting old together. But here's the shocking part. Their futures couldn't be more different. Frank, the guy with the blue house on the corner, will live past 90. He won't just survive, he'll thrive. At 85, he'll still be driving himself to his grandkids' ball games, remembering everyone's birthdays without help, and taking care of his own home. His mind will stay sharp. His body will keep moving. He'll enjoy life right up until his final days. Harold, just 3 doors down with the red mailbox, won't even make it to 80. And those last years, they won't be pretty. By 75, he'll need help with basic things. Getting dressed, remembering to take his pills, even walking across the room. His family will watch him fade away in a nursing home, where he'll spend his final years confused, in pain, and dependent on strangers for everything. Same starting point at age 60, completely different endings. You might be thinking, well, that's just luck, right? Good genes versus bad genes? But you'd be wrong, very wrong. What if I told you that scientists have discovered exactly what made the difference between Frank and Harold's futures? What if just a few simple things you do every day could be the difference between 10 extra healthy years or 10 years of suffering? That's exactly what I'm about to show you. These aren't complicated medical terms or expensive treatments. They're simple signs you can check right now, today, that accurately predict whether you're on Frank's path or Harold's path. And here's the best part. Once you know which path you're on, you can change it if you need to. Starting today, let's count down the 10 most powerful predictors of how long you'll live after 60, starting with number 10. Sign number 10, your ability to handle stress. Let's peek into the lives of our neighbors, Frank and Harold. These 2 guys are dealing with all the same headaches that come with getting older. Doctor visits that worry them, money problems that keep them up at night, and family stuff that gives them heartburn. Frank gets the same bad news as Harold. His retirement fund took a nasty hit last month when the market crashed. His doctor found something concerning on his last checkup, and his adult son just asked to move back home after a messy divorce. But watch how differently these 2 men handle these problems. When Frank opens that investment statement showing he's lost $30,000, his heart races for a moment. Well, that stinks, he says to his wife. He takes a deep breath, calls his financial guy for a quick chat, and then closes the folder. That evening, you'll find him out back in his tomato garden, whistling while he works. By bedtime, he's reading his mystery novel, chuckling at the detective's wisecracks. Harold? He's glued to the financial news channel. The market's going to zero, he tells anyone who'll listen. He calls his broker 3 times that day, then his kids, then his neighbor. He spreads his statements across the kitchen table, calculating how many more years he'll have to live if the money keeps shrinking. At midnight, he's still awake, staring at the ceiling, his heart pounding. The next morning, he checks the market again before he even pours his coffee. This goes on for weeks. It's not just the problems you face, my grandmother used to say. It's how long you let them live rent-free in your head. What Harold doesn't see is how his worry habit is like poison to his body. When you stay stressed for days and weeks, your body keeps pumping out chemicals that should only flow briefly during danger. It's like leaving your car running in the garage all night. Something's gonna break down. Those stress chemicals increase inflammation in Harold's body. They keep his blood pressure high. They make it harder for him to fight off colds and flu. They even age his cells faster. Scientists have found that people who stay stressed out die sooner than folks who bounce back quickly, even when facing identical problems. Here's the good news. Handling stress better isn't something you're born with. It's something you learn, like riding a bike. Frank wasn't always so calm. He trained himself over the years. Try this. Next time something upsets you, set a timer for how long you'll let yourself worry about it. Start with an hour. When the timer beeps, ask yourself, can I fix this right now? If yes, take one small step. If the answer is no, then do something completely different. Walk the dog, call a friend, work on a hobby. You're training your brain to shift gears instead of getting stuck in worry mode. What about you? When life throws you a curveball, do you bounce back by the next day? Or are you still fretting about it a week later? Your answer might tell you more about how long you'll live than your latest cholesterol test. Sign number 9, your big toe secrets. This next sign might shock you because it's hiding in plain sight. Take a quick peek down at your feet. Yep, I'm talking about your big toes. Most people never think about them, but these little helpers tell an amazing story about how long you might live. Let me tell you about my Uncle Joe. At 82, he still puts on his own socks while standing up, no chair needed. When I asked him his secret, he laughed and wiggled his toes. I can still move these puppies any way I want, he said. You see, when your big toes can bend up and down easily, something magical happens. Your walking becomes smoother. Your balance stays rock solid. And most importantly, you're much less likely to fall, which is one of the biggest dangers as we age. Try this quick test. Sit down and try to lift just your big toe while keeping your other toes flat on the floor. Tough, isn't it? Now try to spread your toes apart like a fan. If you're struggling, don't worry, you're not alone. Most people have lazy toes because we keep them stuffed in shoes all day. Here's a story that might surprise you. My neighbor Martha always wore pointy high heels her whole life. By 70, her big toes were practically frozen stiff. Walking became painful, and she started shuffling instead of taking confident steps. Last winter, that shuffling led to a fall on some ice, and she's been using a walker ever since. Meanwhile, her sister Jane, who always wore comfortable shoes and did simple toe exercises, still walks a mile every morning at 75. The secret is this. Your big toe is the last part of your foot to push off with every single step you take. When it can't move properly, your entire walking pattern changes. Your balance suffers. Your confidence drops. And before you know it, you're moving less, getting weaker, and facing a shorter, less independent future. The good news? You can wake up those sleepy toes starting today. Try picking up marbles with your toes. Roll a golf ball under your foot. Walk barefoot on grass when you can. Simple, right? But these tiny habits could add years to your independent life. Who would have thought that your future might be hiding in your big toes? But that's how our bodies work. The smallest parts often hold the biggest secrets about how long we'll stay healthy and independent. Sign number 8, Your eating speed. Ever noticed how some people wolf down their food in minutes while others take forever to finish? This might seem like no big deal, but how fast you eat could actually be telling you something important about how long you'll live. Picture this. You're at a restaurant with two friends. Bob is halfway done with his meal before you've even picked up your fork. Meanwhile, Susan is still enjoying her first few bites, putting her fork down between mouthfuls, actually tasting and savoring each bite. Here's what's fascinating. Scientists have found that people who eat slower tend to live longer. But why? It's not just about enjoying your food more, though that's a nice bonus. When you rush through meals, your body doesn't have time to tell your brain, "Hey, I'm full now." So you end up eating way more food than you actually need. Your stomach is already stuffed, but your brain hasn't gotten the message yet. By the time it does, you're uncomfortably full and have eaten far more calories than your body wanted. Did you know it takes about 20 minutes for your brain to register that your stomach is full? That's right, 20 whole minutes. Fast eaters can down an entire extra meal's worth of food in that time. But there's more to it than just calories. When you eat quickly, you don't chew your food properly. Your poor stomach has to work overtime, breaking down those big chunks, causing bloating, gas, and making it harder for your body to absorb all the good nutrients. I'll let you in on a secret from some of the longest living people in the world. In Okinawa, Japan, where people regularly live into their 100s, they practice something called hara hachibu, eating until you're only 80% full. And guess what helps you notice that 80% mark? Eating slowly. Try this simple test tomorrow. Set a timer for 20 minutes when you start your next meal. Try to make your food last that entire time. Notice how different you feel afterward compared to when you rush. Many people are shocked to discover they feel more satisfied while actually eating less food. This one small change, just slowing down while you eat, could make a huge difference to your health over time. Your digestion improves, you naturally eat less without feeling deprived, and your body gets more nutrients from the food you do eat. Think about it. If you eat 3 meals a day for decades, making each one just a little bit healthier by slowing down adds up to a massive difference in your health journey. Such a simple change, but it could add years to your life. So next time you sit down to eat, take a breath, put your phone away, and really taste your food. Your future self will thank you for it. Sign number 7. Your reaction time. Picture this scene at Frank's house during a family dinner. His 7-year-old grandson accidentally bumps the table, sending a full glass of water flying toward the edge. Everyone gasps. But before anyone can even shout a warning, Frank's hand shoots out like lightning and plucks the glass from midair, not spilling a single drop. His daughter-in-law looks amazed. "Dad, that was incredible," she says while the grandson stares wide-eyed. "Grandpa, you're like a superhero." This isn't just luck. At the monthly neighborhood game night last week, Frank had everyone laughing and groaning as he dominated round after round of slapjack. His hands always first to the pile when the right card appeared. Even the teenagers couldn't beat his quick reflexes. "It's not fair," his friend Harold complained good-naturedly. "How are you still this quick at our age?" And just yesterday, while driving to the grocery store, a soccer ball suddenly bounced into the street, followed by a running child. While the passenger in the next car visibly flinched, Frank calmly but quickly steered around the danger, his movements smooth and controlled, his heart rate barely rising. The mom waved gratefully as Frank gave a friendly nod and continued on his way. What most people don't realize is that these quick reactions aren't just useful for catching falling objects or winning card games. They reveal something much more important about Frank's brain health and his potential lifespan. Harold, meanwhile, has become noticeably slower to react in everyday life. Watch him at a family dinner, and you'll see it clear as day. When his grandson tosses him the salt shaker, Harold fumbles and nearly drops it. The pepper? It rolls right off the table before his hands even move. During lively family debates, everyone's noticed how Harold always seems a step behind. By the time he jumps in with a comment, the conversation has already moved on to something else. The most worrying change came last month on a routine drive to the grocery store. Harold's daughter Sarah was in the passenger seat when a car suddenly braked ahead of them. Sarah gasped and instinctively pressed her foot down on imaginary brakes. But Harold kept cruising forward for what felt like forever before finally hitting the brakes, stopping with barely enough room to spare. On the drive home, Sarah counted 3 yellow lights that Harold drove straight through, seemingly unaware they were changing. That night, she called her brother to have the talk about Dad's driving. Neither wanted to bring it up with Harold, but both knew someone would have to say something before his slow reactions caused a real accident. This difference in how quickly they respond isn't just about catching things or having fast reflexes. It's like a window into how well their brains are working. Think about it this way. Your reaction time is basically your brain's speedometer. When Frank catches that falling glass, his brain is doing something amazing. It's seeing the danger, deciding what to do, and telling his hand to move, all in a split second. Doctors have studied this for years and found something pretty shocking. People with slower reactions, like Harold, tend to die earlier. They've tracked thousands of seniors over many years and discovered that how fast you can react actually predicts how long you'll live better than many expensive medical tests. It makes sense when you think about it. Quick reactions mean good blood flow to your brain, strong connections between brain cells, and healthy nerves carrying signals to your muscles. All those things matter not just for catching falling objects, but for everything your brain does, from remembering where you put your keys to fighting off illness. The really interesting part? Your brain is a lot like a muscle. Just as Frank keeps his reaction time sharp by staying mentally active, you can improve yours with regular practice. Even people in their 80s have shown dramatic improvements with the right kind of brain exercises. Your body is literally responding to what you ask it to do. Think about your brain like a super-fast highway system. When everything's running smoothly, messages zoom from your eyes to your brain and then to your muscles in the blink of an eye. That's what we see with Frank. But for Harold, this highway has developed some traffic jams. The signals still get where they need to go, but they're moving slower now. It's like the difference between high-speed internet and the old dial-up connection. Both work, but one is noticeably slower. What's really fascinating is that your reaction speed can actually show problems in your body long before other, more obvious signs appear. It's like an early warning light on your car's dashboard that comes on miles before your engine actually has trouble. Want to check your own reaction speed? Here's a fun test you can try right now with a friend or family member. Ask them to hold a ruler or stick straight up and down above your open hand. Your fingers should be ready to grab, but not touching the ruler. Without giving you any warning, no countdown. They'll drop the ruler, and you try to catch it as fast as you can. The magic is in where you catch it. If you grab it near the top, you've got lightning-fast reactions like Frank. If you catch it near the bottom, or miss completely, your reaction time might be slowing down like Harold's. The lower on the ruler you grab, the more distance it fell before your brain could tell your hand to close, meaning slower reactions. I tried this with my 80-year-old uncle and my 12-year-old niece last weekend. My uncle caught it around the 20-centimeter mark, which isn't bad for his age. My niece snagged it at the 8-centimeter mark. We turned it into a family competition, and everyone was laughing and trying to beat each other's scores. The best part? Every time you practice, you're actually training your brain to get faster. Here's the amazing thing about reaction time. You can actually improve it no matter how old you are. Your brain is like a muscle that can get stronger with the right kind of exercise. Frank didn't just get lucky with good genes. He works at staying sharp every day. When his grandkids visit, they have a special game where they toss a softball back and forth, trying to surprise each other with unexpected throws. He laughs when they try to fake him out, but he still catches the ball 9 times out of 10. My secret, Frank once told his neighbor, I never stop playing. He's right. Play is powerful medicine for your brain. Simple activities that feel like fun can rebuild those lightning-fast connections in your mind. Tossing a ball back and forth with a friend or grandchild. Playing ping pong or tennis, where you need to react quickly. Taking dance classes where you learn new steps and patterns. Trying those brain training games on your phone or computer. Even playing cards games like Speed, where quick reactions win. Every time you react quickly to something, your brain strengthens those connections, making them more efficient. It's like clearing traffic off a highway so signals can travel faster. The best part? This kind of brain training feels like fun, not work. And unlike crossword puzzles, which are good for other reasons, reaction training directly improves the speed of connections throughout your entire nervous system. So ask yourself, when was the last time you did something that challenged your reaction speed? This seemingly simple ability, how quickly you respond to the world around you, isn't just about catching falling objects. It's a window right into your brain health and might even predict how many good years you have ahead. Sign number 6, your appetite and eating habits. Watch Frank at dinner time. It's like a show worth seeing. His eyes light up when food arrives at the table. "This looks amazing," he often says, rubbing his hands together with genuine excitement. Frank doesn't just eat, he truly enjoys every bite, taking his time to savor the flavors. "Have you tried this sauce?" he'll ask his wife, pointing with his fork. It's got a hint of something special. Unlike many folks his age, Frank hasn't lost his love for eating. He still gets properly hungry between meals and looks forward to breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like little daily celebrations. His plate always has different colors on it, greens, reds, yellows, because he loves trying different foods. When you look at old photos of Frank from 10 years ago, he looks pretty much the same weight. His clothes still fit him well. "I've gone down maybe 1 belt notch over the last few years," he jokes, but nothing dramatic. His doctor always nods approvingly at his checkups, noting how his stable weight is a good sign of overall health. What's his secret? Frank eats until he's satisfied, not stuffed. "I want to feel good after a meal, not like I need to unbutton my pants," he often tells his grandchildren. This simple approach has kept his weight steady year after year, while many of his friends battle the scale up and down. Meanwhile, remember when Dad would steal food off our plates? Harold's daughter whispers to her brother during Sunday dinner. They exchange worried glances as they notice how his belt has a new notch, and his wedding ring spins loosely on his finger. His once round face now shows cheekbones they've never seen before. At his checkup last month, his doctor raised concerns about the weight loss. "I just don't feel hungry anymore," Harold explained with a dismissive wave of his hand. "Isn't that normal at my age?" He forces a little laugh, trying to make light of it. The doctor leans forward, suddenly serious. "No, Harold, it's not normal at all, and it's something we need to talk about. What many people don't know is that losing your appetite as you age isn't just about missing out on the pleasure of food. Think about it like this. Your body is a machine that needs fuel. When it stops asking for fuel, something's wrong with the engine. Without enough food, especially protein, your body starts eating itself, breaking down the muscles you need to stay strong and independent. Your immune system, the army that fights off sickness, gets weaker without proper nutrition. Even small illnesses that wouldn't normally slow you down become dangerous. It's like trying to repair a house with no materials. The maintenance crew can't do their job. What's really scary? Many people think losing appetite is just part of getting older. It's not. It's your body waving a red flag, trying to get your attention. Your relationship with food isn't just about pleasure. It's a daily report card on your health. When your body stops asking for fuel, it's telling you something important about your future. Are you listening? Remember, your relationship with food tells an important story about your health. It's not just about enjoying what you eat. It's about giving your body the fuel it needs to stay strong and healthy as you get older. When you maintain good eating habits, you're supporting the energy and nutrition your body needs to function optimally as you age. Sign number 5, your social connections. Frank's social life is buzzing with activity, something most 60-year-olds can't say. His calendar isn't just full, it's overflowing with meaningful connections. Every Tuesday and Friday morning, you'll find him laughing with his buddies at the corner coffee shop, where they've claimed the same table by the window for years. The baristas know their orders by heart. "Those morning coffees keep me going," Frank often says with a smile. "We solve all the world's problems in those 2 hours." But coffee dates are just the beginning. 3 afternoons a week, Frank volunteers at the local food bank, sorting donations and chatting with the other volunteers who've become like a second family. He never misses his grandchildren's school plays or baseball games either. He's famous for being the loudest cheerer in the stands, embarrassing his grandkids in that special way only grandparents can. At least once a month, Frank's home fills with the sounds of friends gathering. Nothing fancy, just simple potluck dinners where everyone brings a dish and stories to share. These gatherings often run late into the evening, with no one wanting to be the first to leave. What's most impressive is how Frank nurtures these relationships. His phone lights up daily with texts and calls from people checking in, and he's religious about returning them. When a friend goes through hard times, Frank is the first one at their door with a home-cooked meal and a listening ear. Relationships take work, Frank says, but they're the best investment I've ever made, better than any stock or bond I've bought. Little does Frank realize that these connections aren't just enriching his days, they're literally adding years to his life. Harold's world has slowly shrunk since he retired. At first, he just missed a few lunch meetups with old work friends. "I'm too tired," he'd say, or maybe next time. But next time never came. Soon, his phone stopped ringing with invitations. His email inbox, once filled with social plans, now only contains bills and spam. These days, Harold's calendar sits empty on his kitchen wall. The only regular visitors are his daughter and son-in-law, who stop by every Sunday for a quick dinner. They exchange worried glances when they think he's not looking. "Dad, have you talked to anyone this week?" his daughter often asks. Harold usually shrugs and changes the subject. The TV has become his main companion, running in the background from morning until bedtime, filling the silence of his empty house. Sometimes he's startled when he realizes that he hasn't spoken a single word aloud for 3 or 4 days straight. What Harold doesn't know is that this loneliness isn't just making him sad. It's literally shortening his life. Scientists have looked at this very carefully. In fact, when they combined 148 different studies with over 300,000 people, they discovered something shocking. People with good friends and strong connections lived 50% longer than lonely folks like Harold. That's not a small difference. It's huge. To put it in perspective, having poor social connections is as dangerous as smoking 15 cigarettes every day or being an alcoholic. Think about that for a second. We all know smoking is terrible for us, but how many doctor's visits have you had where they asked about your friends? Probably none. This pattern showed up everywhere researchers looked. It didn't matter if people were young or old, men or women, healthy or sick. Having people in your life who care about you helps you live longer, period. When researchers tracked people over time, they found that lonely people's health declined faster in almost every way you can measure. Harold's empty calendar isn't just boring. It might be as dangerous as if he had a serious disease that nobody's treating. So why does hanging out with people keep us alive longer? There are 3 big reasons. First, friends help us in practical ways. When Harold broke his hip, he had nobody to drive him to doctor's appointments or pick up his medications. He missed treatments and got worse. But when Frank had the same injury, his buddy Tom drove him every Tuesday. His church group brought meals, and his recovery was so much better. Second, and this is wild, your friends actually boost your immune system. I'm not making this up. When researchers gave people vaccines, those with strong friendships actually built more protection against diseases. Your body literally fights illness better when you have people in your life. The third reason might be the biggest. Friends calm our bodies down. When we're alone too much, our stress hormones go crazy. It's like our bodies are always in panic mode. These stress chemicals cause inflammation throughout our body, and over time, this damages our heart, brain, and other organs. Having people around literally cools down this internal fire. But I'm not good at making friends, you might be thinking. That's okay. You don't need 100 friends. Even 2 or 3 close relationships can make a huge difference. And there are so many ways to connect. Maybe there's a senior center in your town where people get together for cards or crafts. Or your local animal shelter needs volunteers to walk dogs. Bonus, pets help longevity too. Churches, synagogues, and mosques always welcome new members. And don't forget the internet. My mother-in-law learned to use Facebook at 82, and now she video chats with old high school friends every week. The best news? It's never too late to start. Scientists have found that people who were lonely for years but then made new connections quickly saw improvements in their health. Your body starts repairing itself almost immediately when you bring people back into your life. So if you've been sitting at home alone more than you'd like, consider this your wake-up call. Your social life isn't just about having fun. It might be the most important health decision you make today. Sign number 4, your sleep quality. Night shows us another big difference between our two neighbors. Frank sticks to a steady sleep routine that works well for him. He crawls into bed around 10 p.m. each night, letting his body naturally wake up at 6 a.m. when the morning light peeks through his curtains. Even on those nights when he stirs from sleep, maybe to use the bathroom or after hearing a sound, he drifts back to dreamland without much trouble. When morning comes, Frank's eyes open with energy, and he feels ready to tackle whatever the day brings his way. His consistent sleep schedule gives his body the rest it needs, making each morning feel like a fresh start. Harold's nights tell a different story. They aren't peaceful like most people's. He tosses and turns, eyes wide open, when everyone else is deep in dreams. The clock ticks for hours before sleep finally comes. But even then, it's not good sleep. He jerks awake often, his rest broken into tiny pieces. At 3 a.m., like clockwork, Harold finds himself staring at the ceiling, his mind buzzing with all his worries and fears. No matter how hard he tries, sleep slips away from him until morning. When the sun rises, Harold rises too, but only in body. His brain feels cloudy and slow, his body heavy with tiredness. The only way he can make it through his day is by drinking cup after cup of coffee, just to feel somewhat normal. Sleep isn't just about feeling good the next day. It's actually your body's repair shop. When you fall into deep sleep, something amazing happens. Your brain starts its cleanup crew, washing away harmful toxins, including those sticky proteins linked to brain diseases. Meanwhile, your body is busy fixing damaged tissues, powering up your immune system to fight off sickness, and balancing those important hormones that control everything from how hungry you feel to how you handle stress. Here's something that might surprise you. Not sleeping well can actually shorten your life. One big study that watched older adults for over 12 years discovered something shocking. People who regularly had trouble sleeping were 40% more likely to die earlier than those who slept well. And that's even after looking at all their other health issues. This isn't just about feeling tired, it's about staying alive longer. Many people think bad sleep is just part of getting older, but that's simply not true. Yes, some things do change. Maybe you go to bed a bit earlier or don't sleep quite as deeply. But having insomnia all the time, feeling super sleepy during the day, or waking up constantly throughout the night are not normal parts of aging. These are actual health problems that can be fixed, and when you do fix them, you might add years to your life. Want to sleep better? It's easier than you might think. Keep regular sleep times, even on weekends. Make your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Put away those phones and tablets before bedtime. Skip coffee after lunch, and create a relaxing bedtime routine. Maybe some light stretching or reading. If you've tried all this and still can't sleep well, don't just accept it. See a sleep specialist who can check for hidden problems like sleep apnea or restless legs that might be ruining both your sleep quality and your chances for a longer life. Remember this important truth. Taking care of your sleep isn't just about feeling good tomorrow. It could literally add years to your life. The better your nights, the more days you'll have to enjoy. Isn't that worth turning off Netflix just a little earlier tonight? Sign number 3. Your balance. Watch Frank move through his home. He moves with confidence and never stumbles. When he gets up from sitting, he rises smoothly without struggle. Need something from up high? Frank reaches up while staying perfectly balanced. He can even stand on one foot to put on shoes without holding on to anything. What's his secret? Frank has worked to build his core strength and balance through simple daily exercises. This hidden strength doesn't just make everyday movements easier, it helps prevent falls and keeps him independent. And the best part? You can develop this same confidence in your movements too. Harold's body tells a story that his words don't. Watch him at home. He always reaches for walls and furniture when walking, like they're his silent helpers. He sways slightly when standing still, as if feeling an invisible breeze. When he turns quickly, balance sometimes betrays him for a second. In those shoes, he needs to sit down to put them on because balancing on one leg is a challenge he can't overcome. This difference in balance ability reveals critical information about neurological health, muscle coordination, and mortality risk. A simple balance test, standing on one leg for at least 10 seconds, has proven to be a powerful predictor of longevity. A major study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that people unable to complete this task had an 84% higher risk of death from any cause over the following decade. Balance depends on the seamless integration of multiple body systems. Your inner ear's vestibular system, detecting head position, your vision providing environmental cues, your proprioceptive system sensing body position, and your brain integrating all this information while coordinating muscle responses. Decline in any of these systems affects balance, but the rate of this decline varies dramatically between individuals. Poor balance isn't just concerning because of fall risk, though falls are a leading cause of disability and death in older adults. It's significant because balance problems often signal broader neurological or musculoskeletal issues that affect overall health and longevity. Try this simple test. Stand barefoot on a flat surface, lift one foot about 6 inches off the ground, and time how long you can hold this position without touching down or grabbing support. Aim for at least 10 seconds. If you struggle with this task, don't ignore it. The encouraging news is that balance can be dramatically improved at any age through simple daily practices. Activities like standing on one foot while brushing your teeth, staying near a counter for safety, walking heel to toe as if on a tightrope, or practicing Tai Chi can significantly enhance your balance in just weeks. These activities strengthen the neural pathways that coordinate balance, potentially adding years to your life by preventing falls and indicating better overall nervous system function. By improving this key longevity marker, you're not just preventing accidents, you're potentially extending your life. Sign number 2, your walking speed. Let's peek into our neighbor's morning routines. Frank zips to his favorite coffee shop every day. He walks fast, covering a mile in just 20 minutes. That's about 3 miles per hour, which is pretty quick. Watch how smoothly he moves, each step full of energy and purpose. What's amazing is how easily Frank keeps up with people half his age. He rarely stops to catch his breath. Frank makes his daily coffee trip look effortless. Frank and Harold both journey to the same place, but in very different ways. Frank moves quickly, reaching his goal in just 20 minutes with confident strides and steady breath. Harold, moving at half Frank's pace, takes twice as long, a full 40 minutes, to cover the same ground. Harold doesn't walk so much as shuffle along. His feet barely leave the ground, and each step covers less distance than Frank's bold movements. About halfway through his journey, Harold's body demands a break. He stops, catches his breath, and slowly starts again. When Harold finally arrives, he can't just continue with his day. He's completely out of breath, his chest heaving as he gulps down air. He needs to sit down for several minutes before he can even speak properly or think about what comes next. The contrast between these two travelers shows how differently people can approach the same challenge, one with ease, the other with struggle. This seemingly simple measure, walking speed, has become one of the most powerful ways to predict how long older adults will live. Many studies show that how fast someone walks strongly links to their survival chances. That's why many doctors who work with older adults now consider walking speed a vital sign, just as important as blood pressure or heart rate. A major study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association looked at data from over 34,000 older adults living in communities. The researchers discovered something amazing. Walking speed predicted longevity better than age, gender, or existing health conditions. For each tiny drop in walking speed, just 0.1 meter per second slower, the risk of dying increased by about 12%. So why does walking speed tell us so much about how long someone might live? Because walking uses almost every system in your body. Your heart, lungs, bones, nerves, and muscles all working together. When any of these systems starts to weaken, it shows up in how you walk. This makes walking speed like a complete health checkup in a single measurement. What's most eye-opening is that walking speed usually slows down gradually over years, before other health problems become obvious. This makes it an excellent early warning sign. By the time Harold's doctor notices concerns during quick clinic visits, his slower walking has already been silently signaling declining health for years. Here's a quick way to check yourself. Time how long it takes you to walk 10 feet at your normal pace. Healthy adults over 60 should be able to do this in less than 3 seconds, or measure over a longer distance. Healthy older adults typically walk about 2.5 to 3.5 miles per hour. If you've noticed yourself slowing down, here's the good news. You can improve your walking speed at any age. Regular walking practice, focusing on good form, head up, arms swinging naturally, and gradually picking up your pace can significantly improve this crucial health indicator. Specific exercises that strengthen your legs and improve flexibility also help you walk better. By maintaining or improving your walking speed, you're not just getting places faster, you could be adding precious years to your life. And the number one, most important sign, your cardiorespiratory fitness. Your heart and lung fitness, how well your body delivers oxygen to your muscles during exercise. Scientists call this VO2 max. But think of it as your body's engine efficiency, how well your heart, lungs, blood vessels, and muscles work together when you're active. It's like the horsepower rating for your body. Why does this matter more than anything else? Because this single measurement tells us how well your entire system functions under stress. And the good news? You can improve it at any age with the right approach, which I'll show you next. First, let's take one final peek at our neighbors. Look at Frank. He's impressive. When he climbs several flights of stairs carrying heavy grocery bags, he can still chat away without gasping for air. Whether he's taking his daily walks, splashing in the pool, or digging in his garden beds, his breathing picks up just right for the work he's doing. And the amazing part? As soon as he stops, his breathing calms down fast. His heart beats quicker during these activities, but within just a few minutes of resting, it settles back to normal. Frank's body responds perfectly to movement and rest. That's what good fitness looks like in everyday life. Harold, on the other hand, struggles and gets short of breath just going up one flight of stairs. His heart beats hard and fast with even small amounts of effort and takes a long time to slow down afterward. When he tries everyday tasks like raking leaves in the yard or walking just a single block, he ends up completely drained for several hours. His body simply can't keep up with activities that most people handle easily, leaving him feeling frustrated and limited in what he can do each day. This huge difference in how well your heart and lungs work tells us more about how long you might live than almost anything else. Scientists found that people with poor heart and lung fitness are up to 5 times more likely to die early compared to those with excellent fitness. That means poor fitness is an even bigger danger than smoking, diabetes, or high blood pressure. Why is this so important? Your heart and lungs never get to take a break. They work 24/7 for your entire life. Any small problems add up over time. When your heart struggles to pump oxygen-rich blood around your body, everything suffers, from your brain to your immune system. But when your heart and lungs are strong, they protect you from almost every disease that comes with aging, from sugar problems to memory loss. You don't need fancy gadgets to check your fitness. Try this simple test. Talk while walking up 2 flights of stairs. Can you keep chatting without getting out of breath? Or try this. After some exercise, check how quickly your heart slows down when you rest. It should drop by at least 20 beats in the first minute. The best part? You can improve your heart and lung fitness at any age. Even people in their 70s and 80s can boost their fitness by 15-20% with regular training. This could add years to their lives. And you don't need extreme workouts. Just walking, swimming, biking, or any activity that gets your heart pumping and breathing deeper for 30 minutes most days will make a huge difference. Start wherever you are right now. Maybe that's just walking to the mailbox or swimming a few laps. Slowly do a little more each week. Your amazing body will respond by growing new, tiny blood vessels, making your heart stronger and helping your cells produce more energy. Of all the health factors we've talked about, this one gives you the biggest bang for your buck. By improving your heart and lung fitness, you're not just living longer, you're boosting your energy, keeping your mind sharp, fighting off disease, and making every single day better, no matter how many years you have ahead. Your longevity plan. What happens next? Now that you know these 10 crucial signs, you might be wondering, are you headed down Frank's path to a long, vibrant life, or Harold's shorter journey with earlier decline? Here's the amazing truth. You have the power to choose your story. Only about 25% of how long you'll live past 60 comes from your genes. The other 75%? That's all about how you live your life, the very things we just talked about. Frank and Harold weren't born with their futures set in stone. Frank simply made better choices day after day, year after year. He stayed active, kept friends close, handled stress well, and paid attention when his body tried to tell him something. Harold? He either missed or ignored those same signals that could have changed everything for him. Now that you can spot these longevity clues, you can create your own plan. Focus on the areas where you need the most work. And don't worry, you don't have to change your entire life overnight. Research shows that improving just one of these factors starts a chain reaction that helps the others too. Think about it. If you start walking just 30 minutes every day, you'll likely sleep better. Better sleep helps you handle stress. Less stress makes it easier to eat healthier foods. Healthier foods give you energy for more activity, and suddenly you're in an upward spiral of better health. The average American lives to 77.5 years, but that's just the middle of the road. Many people live well into their 80s, 90s, and beyond, and they don't do it through expensive medical treatments or miracle pills. They do it by taking care of these key health indicators we've discussed. Even better, these folks aren't just existing longer. They're thriving longer, staying independent, keeping their sharp minds, and finding joy in everyday life. Your next chapter, whether it's 5 years or 35, is still being written. The choices you make today can shift your path toward a longer, healthier tomorrow. Your body is constantly sending you messages about your longevity potential through these 10 signs. The real question is, are you listening? And more importantly, are you ready to act on what you hear? Thank you for joining me today. If this information helped you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone you care about. The greatest gift you can give is knowledge that helps someone live a longer, healthier life. I'd love to hear which of these signs surprised you the most, or which area you're going to work on first. Drop a comment below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to start their own journey to better health. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore even more powerful ways to boost your health and energy in the years ahead.